Hello friends, it's Cindy Brumbaugh from CindyLeeBDesigns.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm going to try not to have that ring showing that is so annoying. So I'm going to try to keep the stamp set from getting that glare. I'm going to be using a new bundle that's coming out in the new mini catalog January through the end of April, beginning of May, and I'm using the Trusty tools, and it has these fun tools in there, of course. Why would they name it Trusty Tools? And it has a die set that goes with it, and this die set cuts out the images, plus also die cuts the actual tools out. And then I'm going to be using the Best Family Ever stamp set that's in the annual catalog. And I'm going to show you now the card because now we don't have that ring showing. Oh, I also want to show you that I'm using the Trusty Tools DSP that's going to be a celebration paper. And as you can see here, we've got images here that can be cut out with the dies. Real cool bright colors with Crushed Curry, Poppy Parade, and some gray granite. Just a really pretty paper, and we're going to use some of them on this card. So I'm going to set this aside here, and that is going to be available with a $50 purchase during celebration. So you're going to get a brochure, and you're going to be able to pick for every $50 or $100 increments from the celebration that starts in January and runs through February. So this is the card we're going to make, and I'm going to show you the versatility of this bundle because you can actually use stamped images and color them in, or you can actually die cut them. As you can see that I have all my little pieces down here. And as I said before, I'm using gray granite and Poppy Parade and some Crushed Curry. So this card is a fun fold. So it has a belly band that comes off. And then when you open it up, it has a fun pop out, as you can see here. So when you sit it down, it has this pop up with this cool pegboard that's also in the die set. So you have this nice pegboard here. It's a little smaller, so you know we have a die in the annual catalog with bigger circles, and it's a big die, but this one is really cool because it's a little smaller scale. So my husband actually does have white pegboard in his little workshop. So I went ahead and went with the white, plus it went with all the white in the card. So this is the first card I made, and as you can see, I used the stamp in the stamp set Trusty Tools, and then I used that Best Family Ever and picked out Grandpa there. You can guess who's going to be getting this card. So I also used that Trusty Toolbox DSP, the celebration paper, and I just realized I put the paper on upside down. Look at that. They're both going the same way, but my hammers and nails are going down. And it might, ooh, yeah, I'm going to work on changing that. But just remember, this is directional, and I don't think it looks right going down. I think it looks right going this way, but I do believe I used my tape runner, so I will be able to fix that, but we won't do it on this one. So before we start to make this card though, I'm just gonna sit it over here so that you can see it. We're just gonna do a little bit of putting together of our tools here, okay? So we are going to use all the little pieces that are in the die set. There's a drill, and you could really get creative with this, and you could put a different color on the base, a color in between here, but I'm just going to be pretty simple here and just put together my drill. I'm going to put the gray with this, and I'm going to just actually put this together with a little bit of tape because the glue might be a little fiddly. So let's just get that so I know that it's in the right place and put a piece of tape down. There we go. Alrighty, I'll save that other piece in case I need it there. So I've got my drill started. Actually, you know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it a little bit on. And then just to add some color to this drill that's just, you know, two-dimensional here, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on this little circle here, and there's a little circle that can be used on your tape measure or your, okay, I'm not sure if you have enough light here, So I'm going to plug in my 2 other lights. I noticed I didn't put that there when I started the video. I didn't have them on. So let's see. I think my ring light is enough, but we'll just add some more. Make me feel better. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to put this red right over that circle there. Just gives a little more dimension to our drill. And then we have this cute little tape measure. I was adding a little color to this too. And I'm going to put a red on there. And then essentially most tape measures have yellow. And then this one for the little clicker that extends it. There we go. Okay, I'm going to grab my tweezers because these are little pieces here. We'll put that right in the middle. And I would almost say you could put another layer around that, but I was kind of just going with the 2 colors, the 3 colors with the gray and the poppy and the crushed curry. But if I had used black on the card, or actually white would have looked nice around there too, because I am going to be using white on the card. So the way you put together your pliers, here we go. Oh, I forgot to put a rhinestone on my, I wanted to put that on. Oh, I don't have the pliers on that one. Okay, so of course you're going to put glue. I have a pair of pliers here that I put together that are blue. You're going to put that right on top. So here I'm going to just take off some of the glue. I'm going to put a little embellishment there later. So you take and put these little handles, but the little part that sticks out goes at the top. I actually thought it was this way until I started playing around with it, and then I was like, oh, that's not right. So we're going to put some glue right there on the back, so these little knobby tops. And that goes on the right way there. I'm using my silicone craft mat. Aren't you proud of me? And there we go. And we're going to have our pliers. They look a little weird there. I think I need to get this a little straighter here. There we go. Okay, we've got our pliers, our drill, our tape measure, and we're going to put together a hammer. Now I die cut the top of the ball peen hammer, and then I just cut a part of the handle from this die here, and I was going to trim it right there, but I decided that I would just go ahead and leave it like that. There we go. As you can see, I was going to make a different card and introduce some other colors. So this may be a card in the future. I was thinking with the crumb cake. But so those are our tools there, and there's also a wrench. Now this wrench on this one, now this is a different color, gray granite, than the smoky slate, but you could take the pencil die and put across there and add some color to that die, but I want to keep him gray granite. So those are our dies that are done. Okay, so we're gonna put those over there. Get a little light over here. Okay, so now let's get on the card base, because now we can really rock and roll with that. Now you're gonna cut down a piece of your cardstock, and it's gonna be 5.5 tall, but it's gonna be 8.5 inches wide. So take your piece of cardstock, your 8.5 by 11, trim it down so it's 8 inches, and then cut it in half at 5.5. And then we're gonna score it at 2, 4, 6, okay? And then you have a 2, 2, 2, 2, which makes 8, okay? And the reason why we're going to do that is because we need to be able to fold it and have that little pop-up. Isn't that cool? I just didn't even hide it. I just left it right there. Okay, so what we're gonna do is look at the way the card closes, and we want the outside. So I did on this card here, I used black as the bold border around there, and as you can see I made a mistake there, let alone the fact that my hammers are upside down. This is 2, so these were 1 3/4, and then 5 1/4. But on this one, the gray with the paper on it just didn't like make a big enough punch for me. So I decided when I cut the paper to go down to put white on here to really pop it, and then put the red like this off of the gray, because then the gray really showed. So let's just sit that way. And then let's get the other red one. So if we're gonna do it that way, we're gonna be putting on a 2-inch wide by 5 1/4, which then makes our screwdrivers 1 1/2, because, I'm sorry, I just said 2 inches. The sections are 2 inches, so the white is 1 3/4, and the DSP is 1 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and put those on. And I'm just going to make sure that all of and I'm using my glue, so I don't plan on moving this, hopefully. There we go. And then let's put some glue on the back of this one. This one was a little tricky to find because it really looks red to me, but it definitely is poppy. So, and that's what it says on the Trusty Toolbox DSP that you can get during celebration. Love it when you get a paper that matches the stamp sets. Okay, so those are gonna go in the front. So let's just put some glue on there and on the back of here. And remember, those white panels are 1 3/4, but all the measurements are on my blog. Right underneath the YouTube description, you'll see visit my blog here. And there's a link. You just press that link. It takes you right over to cindyleebdesigns.com. And you'll also find the items in my online store on my blog, but also underneath the YouTube description. Okay, so there we go. See, it has a whole different look. Like this black makes this pop, but the white makes it pop on the gray granite. Okay, so then we have to put 2 here, and I did the same thing. I just put, I'm gonna put make sure my screwdriver's okay. I'm gonna put the hammers going the right way. Okay, 1 1/2 by 5 onto my 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 white. So there we go. And we'll just do this one here. Okie doke. Here we go. Put that one on the white. There are some awesome celebration items to choose from. You'll be getting your catalog soon and your celebration brochures. Start making your wish lists. And oh, I have to say too, I think this new catalog is a winner. I'm blown away at all the fun new things that are in it. Like literally some fun new things, which I like. Okay, so the ones that are gonna be in the middle are just going to be these gray ones. So there's that, and it's the back of the yellow is the little screws and bolts. So we're gonna put that gray back there. So we're putting it onto the yellow part because we're using the gray part. Okay, la da 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 da. Okay. Let's put that one on. I was telling my granddaughter a little story the other day, and I just kept repeating the things in it to say, like, Mr. Giraffe was looking for his ball. What color do you think the ball was? And then she'd make up a color, and then I'd tell some more of the story, and I'd say, who lost their ball? And then she'd have to say the giraffe. So if I were to ask you, what size are these papers? You would say what? I think I heard you say the bordering white is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4, which makes the DSP inside what? 1 1/2 by 5. Okay, so that's our fun card that's gonna go, well, it's not gonna fold this way, but I'm just kind of getting it there. So now we wanna get this mechanism so that we can put our little pegboard on. But why don't we just go ahead? And what I'm gonna do for this pegboard is you know what, I'm gonna kind of cheat now. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of cheat a little bit and put some tape runner, even though it's on the circles. It's just, I'm not in the mood to put all that little pieces of glue on there. And then I'm gonna just put that on here. Now I cut my white piece so that the die fit on it. And I cut that white piece to 2 1/2 by 3 7/8. So 2 1/2 by 3 7/8. That made my gray granite border around it to be 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. Okay, and then that is going to go right on the middle there. But we need that little mechanism, which I forgot to make. So I'm going to do it right now. I am going to use a piece of, let me see here real quick. I'm going to use a piece of the thicker Whisper White because it's a little sturdier. And I'm just going to cut it to 2 inches, and then I'm going to score it at 1. Okay. Ooh, my fingers are sticking to the paper. Scoring with that gray scoring tool. And then I'm just going to cut the, let me see, how big is this? Okay, I got plenty. So I'm going to cut that at about 2 inches and 2 inches. Okay, there we go. You could have used, I don't know, maybe I should have used gray granite. I don't know. What's it gonna look like on here? And I'm not sure how big, yeah, let me see. It's gonna hang over like that. So do we want it white? Yeah, let's leave it white so it kind of blends in with that. So what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna cut these down a little bit. I think I'm gonna make these 1 1/2. No, I'm gonna go ahead and leave these 2 inches. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to fold these. Okay, and we're going to move this out of the way. We're gonna put the 2 folded edges together, and we're going to put these folded edges that we scored and folded over together. And we're gonna put a piece of tape there, okay? That's good. Then I'm gonna take some of my Terran tape because Terran tape is very strong. And we don't want any of this coming apart on us. So I'm just gonna put some Terran tape right along this edge. And then I'm just gonna pull off that Terran tape. There we go. And I'm going to put it right, if you want, you can kind of fold it because you're going to put it right on this score line here, right about the middle of that, okay? So you can see now how that fold is like that, okay? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is put some Terran tape here as well for this to sit on. Now I just realized this is crooked. There we go. So we're going to put some Terran tape also on here. And I'm going to put it right straight across. I love that it's tear and tape and that you can just tear it with your fingers. I remember that the other one that you had to cut, and I just love that you can tear this one. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the gray and get it kind of balanced right in the center there and press it down. Now we have our pop-up mechanism. See that? Ta-da-da-da-da. And then it just closes this way. But we're going to decorate the inside with a sentiment that I made with the "You're the Most Awesome" comes from our Trusty tools. You can see that there. You're the most awesome. It would have said dad, but this doesn't have to be just a dad set. I picked this up, and I have used this a lot. You can make up any, even the friend is in here. Friend, right there. You're the most awesome friend. You could have did that. But I figured I would just, well, actually, if I make it for my husband, then my grandchildren can give it to him because he's the grandpa. Or maybe my grandchildren can give my dad. He'll enjoy that this Father's Day. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and put I think I want to put my hammer in here and my wrench. I think I might do that. And then on the outside, let's see. Whoa, that's pretty big. Maybe we should, no, that's too much yellow. That is amazingly, let me see. I'm trying to use, first of all, we're gonna have a belly band. Okay, so we're not sure how we're doing this yet, but the belly band is going to go around here. And I went ahead and used white because of the white on my border. I'm going to cut that on an angle there. And then I'm going to tape that together. And you know what I'm going to tape it with? Yes, you've got it. I'm going to use tear and tape. Once I find out where it is, there we go. So I'm going to use tear and tape. I'm going to put it right on that angle there and get that off of there. Okay. Get those two edges straight. There we go. And if we put this on here, I think we can fit our tape measure and our pliers. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. So we're gonna put that, okay. Ooh, this is a little bit, it's a little flimsy. I would say I could even double that. We might have to put the pliers in between the two yellows, you know, or we don't necessarily have to put them all on there, or we might just have to make something to go in here. How about we do, let me get a circle punch, a circle punch, a circle punch, 1 3/4 circle punch, and let's grab a piece of Poppy Parade. Sorry about this, guys, because I think we need to put something there because it needs something to sit on. So we'll just put Poppy Parade right there. And then how about that? It looks like there should be, I don't know, maybe the Maybe the hammer should be outside. And the screwdriver. Maybe this. No, I think we just said that's too much yellow out there. We need yellow on the outside. Okay, let us put this back together. You know, I thought I could do this right on the spot. How many times are you making a card and it's just so like you think until you like get it just right. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, let's just commit to it. Let's just put some adhesive on here and put our drill. Now, what am I doing? I am just really crazy today. Okay, let us put our drill on here. Let's put our tape measure, and then I do want to put, I want to get the pliers in between these two yellows here, crushed curries right here. Let me see. You know, I just don't know if I like this. I think it needs to go up higher. That means I need to take off some of this adhesive. And I think we need to bring this up a bit higher. And then maybe we do need to put this guy in here. Do you know what? I just can't seem to know what I want to do. So, you know what? I'm going to play around with this. All I do know is that I want to put this underneath my pliers. So I'm just going to put some adhesive right on this edge. And I know that's going right in here. Okay, and I'm not going to put it on with any pop-ups because it's going to already be a little bulky in there. So you're the most awesome husband. Now maybe because I'm putting, you want to make sure that it's going to fold in here. Maybe because maybe that will work. And then we'll put, I just don't know. I thought I could think on the spot. So anyhow, I am going to play around with this, but I'm not going to waste any more of your day. But I just wanted to show you how fun this is to make with a belly band that is made with our stamped images that are die cut. There you go. So you can just slip that over there. You open it up and you have this fun little mechanism that pops up, and I just used paintbrushes on the inside. This one I wanted to use all dies, but I'm having a little bit of time figuring out my colors once I cut everything. I'm not sure. So you're gonna have to jump over to my blog and see what this card ends up doing. The only thing I did different on this one, I still used the same paper, but what I did was I bordered it with white so that the gray granite would pop, because on this card, the black made the red pop, but the red really just didn't pop to me off of the gray granite, so I put the white. So that's two different tips you can do when you're trying, your card just isn't looking what you want it to be. So anyhow, to make a short video longer and longer, just want to go over the best family ever, the Trusty tools with the magnificent Trusty tools dies, and the Trusty Toolbox DSP that's coming out for celebration. So in January you can get that. So this is the bundle there. So I hope you had a fun time learning a new, you could do this with anything. You could have this be popped up here with like the spaceman or flowers, but it's just the fact that when they open it, they're like, wow. So make sure before you put it into your, make sure you do a lot of folding before you put it into your card and before you put this on it, because then it kind of knows exactly, it has a memory to stay that way. So thanks for buzzing by, friends.